So I'm awake and I'm dressed in a dress. It's been a while. Just gonna head down to breakfast. I did a bit of skipping this morning, just because I'm not very much of a morning gym person. So skipping rope is just like a handy tool that you can take with you anywhere you are, because it's so lightweight and compact. So stick it in your suitcase, do a bit of skipping in the morning before you hit the breakfast buffet, fire up your metabolism a bit. It's a really nice day outside, so that makes me happy because I can sit in the sun a bit later and maybe read and do some work. So yeah, I'm gonna head down to breakfast now. I'll take you with me. My breakfast, got an egg white omelette. I cooked it in a lot of oil, so egg whites, some bacon, tomato and hot sauce. So I've just got back into my room after breakfast, which was my favourite part always on holidays, but it can be very dangerous as well because I eat for like a family of 10, not one. So yeah, and this trip is an all-inclusive trip, so I get breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, drinks whenever I want. And one thing I have noticed about the food here is that they cook in a lot of oil, like a lot. So I'm just being wary of that and being mindful and keeping things more on the high fat, high protein side, a bit lower on the carb side, just because it's a lot easier to overeat on carbs along with fat, and I just don't like making things 10 times harder for myself to drop the weight or drop the body fat afterwards. So I'm just being mindful since I'm not tracking macros here, and just taking that into account. But yeah, it's a lovely day outside, so, and the weather's forecast not to be so great for the rest of the week, so I'm going to make the most of it today and sit outside in the sun and do some reading, and then I will train this afternoon and explore the hotel. So that will be my day. So just thought I would show you guys what I'm going to be taking with me to the pool. These are kind of just like my handbag essentials. So I've got this Creative Nature, it's like a dried fruit bar made of all natural ingredients and cacao, so a bit of a chocolatey twist, which I always love. And I've got the R bar, my favourite kind of protein bar, because it's the only one that fills me up, and that's partly due to the healthy fats, high protein kind of combination and high fibre content. 20 grams of protein per bar, sweetened with stevia as well, so no added sugars or artificial ingredients. And then almonds. Obviously I'm not going to eat the whole bag, but good healthy fat source I like to always keep in my handbag. Then dried mango, just in case I fancy a little something sweet. Very easy to overeat on dried fruit, so just be mindful when you are having it. So yeah, they are my handbag essentials. So for lunch there was lots of nice fresh salads on offer, so I decided to bulk up my plate with that. We've got some chicken in there, some seafood, some steamed broccoli on the side for a bit of fibre and vitamins, and then I use lemon as my salad dressing. also had some sparkling water on the side, and it was paired with a pretty view. Then I went for another plate of some more starchier carbs, so I got some beans in there, some peas and sweet corn and stuff like that, because I was going to be training legs. So here is my leg workout. I always start by foam rolling. So when I foam roll, I always start by loosening up my quads, because this attaches into your ITB band, which rolls down the side of your leg. So I do that right up to my hip flexors. I do this because if your ITB band is tight, or your TFL, then it makes it very hard to loosen up the rest of your muscles around your leg, because your glutes also attach into this fascial band. So I do that, and then I move on to my hamstrings and calves, and then onto my glutes. So I loosen up my glutes last, and really get into those trigger points. And I've honestly noticed such a huge difference in my leg day exercises, like my main compound lifts and my squats and my deadlifts, since I've been foam rolling. So yeah, I'd highly recommend doing this before you do your workout. I then move on to my back. I have a bit of a neck issue, so I spend quite a bit of time just stretching out this part and making sure that all my muscles and joints around the area are just nice and mobilized, so that I can focus on my form when I'm lifting and I'm not thinking about any sort of pain or tightness in my muscles. I then move on to this mobility exercise, which just helps get the blood flowing around my legs and my joints, and just stretch out my hip flexors and my hamstrings, as well as my lower back a little bit. So that is pretty much my warm-up that I do before every single leg session. Moving on to my actual workout. So I started off with some deadlifts, some dumbbell deadlifts. There wasn't much in the gym to use in terms of weights, free weights being. So I think there was 2 sets of heavy dumbbells. So I started off warming up with the lighter ones, and then moved on to the heavier sets for my working sets. I then moved on to some goblet squats. For this, I just used one of the heavier dumbbells. Now, every 3rd week in my monthly program, I usually have a deload week where I don't lift as heavy as I usually would. This was that week, so I wasn't too fussed about lifting too much of a heavier weight, and it was more just to focus on form, and I felt like these weights were pretty much perfect for that. So my 3rd exercise was reverse lunges. Now, I absolutely hate lunges, just because they burn so much. But that being said, they're so good at balancing out any imbalances between your legs. So if you find that you're weaker in one leg than the other, then do more single limb exercises, because this will help even them out over time. I then moved on to glute bridges. Now I usually do this with a barbell, but since this gym didn't have one, I just improvised and put one of the heavier dumbbells on my lap. And I had to include that first clip of me trying to get it onto my lap, because I just found it so funny. Now I would usually use a lot more weight or a lot more load with these, but since obviously I could only work with what I had, I just increased the number of reps that I usually do. And since this was a deload week anyway, I wasn't too fussed about the heaviness of the weights, just because I just needed to make sure I got a good pump on and had a good workout. Thankfully, I was a bit more graceful getting the dumbbell off my lap than I was putting it on. So here, as you can see, I moved on to some good mornings. I found an EZ bar, so I just used that on my back. I think it had 5 kilogram plates on the sides, so this was enough weight for me to get in a good squeeze with them. I then finished off with some leg extensions and hamstring curls and some weighted ab crunches, but unfortunately my camera died, so I couldn't record the rest of that.
But for these exercises I just stuck to 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps, and that concluded my workout. So I'm going to conclude this video here. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm so sorry it's taken me so long to upload this video. I just have the worst luck with technology and I haven't been able to upload the content that I want, but hopefully my next one won't be so long. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment and subscribe, and yeah, I guess I will see you in my next one.